work we did with EA Sports. It wasn't with the new release of the video game, everybody's excited. We just wanted to make people aware of what we have been doing over the past 2 or 3 years with them. And you know, it wasn't, hey, we're not looking to get a whole, like there's not much return other than just people being aware, having these impressions, creating, you know, this reach, and everybody have fan bases from all over the country, you know, looking at the Florida brand connecting with one of the biggest moments in, you know, video game college football history, and the Gators are there. And so there's moments where we just want to make people aware, and we have great relationships with our coaches, and regardless of win or loss, they still want to maintain their message. They're trying to reach an audience as well, an audience from 12 years old to up in the up ages, right? And so, yeah, I was just gonna add that having definition to your goals and being clear about what you want to accomplish, as we previously mentioned. We find a lot of times, you know, in the sports and athletic space that we're in all the time, that there's a lot of ebb and flow, and it's really dependent upon what the team is doing on the field or what opportunities come. So laying out those clear objectives of what you want to accomplish overall, and being willing to move on that a little bit, but
verticals, if you will, of entertainment, and it's not just sports and it's not just college athletics. So at the end of the day, whatever you decide to wrap your brand around has to enhance the fans' experience, bring them closer to the teams and the players that they love. It needs to be engaging, it needs to be cutting edge. And when you do that, when you improve the fans' experience, that's gonna leave a lasting memory of your brand being associated with that moment that you've created for them.
Of course, it goes back to what are the KPIs? You know, do you want, impressions to kind of lay the groundwork? Impressions are the reach, engagement is how are fans reacting to the content. So they're not mutually exclusive. The more people that watch your content, the more opportunity there is to engage with it. I think for us, I think in particularly working at a place like Florida where you're gonna get impressions because you saw the video, they win everything. Engagement is something that we value because it is indicative of how fans are reacting to our content and how they're engaging with the brand. So that's something that we find that we put a lot of weight behind. That said, impressions are incredibly important as well because nobody's watching it, nobody's engaging with it. And so when we come up with that distribution strategy, it is not to get impressions or to get engagement, it is generally to get both. And the content itself will get the engagement, the distribution.
An athlete, or a set of athletes, as it turned out, who had been patient at UF Health because we didn't want to put an athlete in a position not to be authentic, not to be able to tell their story. So
recovery after the surgery was tough. It was the first time I was off my feet. First time I had to do certain things to get range of motion. It was kind of like learning how to walk again.
We wanted athletes who had received care with our doctors and at our facilities. We also wanted to find an athlete. We were focused on Olympics because we are running our ad campaign right now. So we wanted to make sure what we were trying to do is tap into the Olympic audience.
That same DNA to not just save time, but save brain cells by launching a network of mobile stroke treatment units, one of the first in the country. To not just do research, to do it with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia, using AI technology in the ICU to save lives. Some say our breakthroughs are world-renowned, but it's that one last push, that fraction more. That's what it takes to do something truly special. Human progress has no finish line. UF Health.
Sure we follow the rules, work alongside the compliance, making sure we protect your investment in the student athlete and doing it right. And lastly, we need to do a better job explaining of the $1 million we've raised for the student athletes of the University of Florida to make the University of Florida number one. 90% of all the monies raised goes to these athletes, and that's not going to change as well. And we've come a long way. And of course, we've learned as well. We've made mistakes. Every business has to look back what you can improve on.
And just being able to work with Florida Victorious, they work with like 11 different sports, and they just added gymnastics. So we've been able to like get involved with the local community. And I think when a brand is like choosing an athlete, a lot of promotions and advertisements are done through social media. So it's really important like how athletes present themselves. So I know my audience and what they like to see. So the thing with NIL, like companies only have your name, image, and likeness for a certain period of time. So you only sign a contract for this amount of months or years, and then it ends. So you can move on to different brands and help promote them. But like Florida Victorious, not only do we get to work with the local community like YMCA, Ronald McDonald House, but we also get to go to events where we get to like meet the donors and boosters. So I think that's a really special